So we went viral this week.
Oh, did we?
Yes, I believe we did.
Cheers.
Cheers, old boy. This is cranberry juice. Sparkling cranberry juice.
It tastes like medicine.
It's soda. It's medicine flavor soda. Pat called me and said that he was going to do champagne. He said we're going to pop champagne to commemorate our 15 million we got on the Octung video on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I pulled up and he poured me a glass of soda.
Cranberry.
Of cranberry soda, non-alcoholic Stella, what was it?
It's got to help with my UTI.
I didn't consider that.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No, what's wrong with you? No, what's wrong with you?
The meantime. Why do you have to be so mean?
Let's get more of that. Let's get more of that.
Actually, it's kind of great. It's kind of awesome.
It does taste good. I just definitely thought it was going to be champagne.
No, I thought I learned this afternoon.
Pat
I don't
doesn't
know
drink.
what champagne is.
Yeah, Pat doesn't drink.
Is that not? Is that for real? For
Pat,
real?
For real, genuinely outside. I was like, you got fucking soda. And he goes, well, what's champagne?
I'm completely for real about
Me
that.
and Pat are 29 years old, all right?
Yeah, we are.
We made it all the way here.
We did. Dude, our video went viral, and for real, I thought, told you our music was good.
One of these things is not like the other.
And then I had that moment, I was like, oh,
it's got
shit.
nothing to do,
It's
huh?
got nothing to do with
It's got
it.
nothing to do with it. In fact, maybe our music is extra bad and we're just funny.
no.
Like,
that's
I
not-
know for a fact that me being funny is the deciding factor on whether I'm hot or not. When I'm selling merch at Motley Crue and the moms are coming up and I go, how's it going, girl?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a very fun part about the video going viral is that we are very cute and handsome to many people.
Oh, now.
It's lovely. I'm having so much fun.
Someone DM me, and I won't say whose name it was,
Yeah.
but someone DM me and went, let me marry you, I'll cook you tacos and slap your ass.
Oh my God, dude. I've noticed this week, I'm very cute to girls and gay guys, and you're very cute to people that grew up in bad environments.
Oh,
And maybe
Let's dig in that.
Maybe I shouldn't judge just on their own personal feeds.
No, I'm hot to cougars.
Yeah.
I'm cougar bait, buddy.
Yeah. You kind of got a little bit of young gravy going on.
I got I like an older woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like older women are like, you look like what my husband used to look like.
Yeah.
You know?
Your laugh is doing the thing.
Yeah.
I can't unhear it now, which was
Yeah.
a lot of Reese's comments as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I laugh like that, by the way. So I have like 4 different laughs. I don't know if you have many different laughs. I have 4 different laughs.
I just have
Yeah,
exactly. And then completely silent, which is the harder one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I have like a few different ones, and everyone decided that they were going to point them out individually.
To the tune of hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, no, they all were like, by the way, your laugh? Ridiculous. Why do you laugh like that?
And it's like, I would be exaggerating, but the comment you responded to on our follow-up video had 100,000 likes, and it was just about the state of your laugh.
Yeah.
Someone said like an alien playing the theremin. Yeah.
Someone said like a marble rolling on a glass table. That's how I fucking laugh, all right? Like a boomerang being thrown through the air.
What was the
Whoosh, comes back.
What was the one you responded to?
What do you mean?
What's the one that?
Like a sheet metal blowing in the wind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got a sheet metal laugh.
No, do it in the mic.
That's the wrong laugh. So I'm not doing that one right now. Oh, damn it.
Woo!
Shit. It's just my normal fuck you, dude.
That's why I was.
When we started the show, I didn't think you were going to have so many props all the fucking time.
Yeah, we're a Carrot Top podcast.
All right.
That's. I was late getting him. I was like, I gotta make a stop.
Oh, is that what the stop was? Oh fuck! I don't want to laugh at the mic anymore. I don't want to laugh anymore.
I was late picking him up. He's like, "What the fuck? Where are you?" I was like, "I need to grab one thing." I'm in Home Depot with the guy. I was like, "I need a small piece of sheet metal," and he was like, "Yeah, we got some over here." And I was like, "Nah, this is doing more of like a wow, wow, wow. I need like a." And the guy's like,
Do you have
"What
sheet metal that sound like a hyena?
Yes. He was for real. He was like, "What are you making?" And I was like, "Memories."
What are you making? Jokes? Wow. Can I see?
Yeah, of course.
This is rigid.
It costs $149.
All right.
Carrot
It really is saying wobble, wobble, wobble.
Yeah. Yeah. Words that sound like what they are.
Yeah, onomatopoeia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gazoon tight. Speaking of sneezing. So, all right, look at man. We got 15 million views on the Achtung video.
Heck yes.
I'm pretty stoked on it.
I feel great. So is Idobi.
So is Idobi. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But there was a group of people who
we were doing this joke about how we were like, we should do a joke about how the fame changed us, and now we're just actually doing it.
Yeah, it really did. It really did.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm talking to people in like a way that like I'm like, well, this is how you go viral. Listen, so not everyone was really excited about the joke. Some people were offended.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you saw a few people were offended.
Yeah.
There was a couple people who were like, as someone who knows a German guy, this deeply offends me. So I kind of, if this is okay with you,
Sure.
I wanted to talk directly to the German audience, if that's okay.
Yeah, I'll back you up on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna just talk to anybody who might have been offended. I'm talking directly to the German fans of The Meantime, which I think we have a few now.
Sure.
So this goes out to all the German fans of The Meantime. Hallo Deutschland. Ich mag Männer und habe Angst, es meinen Vater zu sagen. Ich mag natürlich auch Frauen. Ich liebe Frauen. Liebst du Frauen? Er liebt Frauen. Insgeheim mag er beides. Ich mag Frauen, aber ich mag auch Männer. Sag es nicht meinen Vater. Dankeschön. We're good now, dude.
You spent all week memorizing a German thing?
Last night. I spent all last night memorizing a German
What did
thing.
you end with that? That's not my dad.
Huh?
Thank you so much. That's the last thing you said.
I don't need you to translate. I just apologized.
Yeah, but how did the apology? Okay.
All right.
How did the apology end with "That's not my dad"?
I'm just saying that I apologize to our German audience. We're just gonna move on. We're just gonna move on.
I thought you wanted.
This is for the German audience. This is not for the English
I thought
audience.
you wanted me to translate.
No, I don't want you to do that.
Oh.
I said I didn't want that.
Okay.
All right?
That was crazy. All right, you bring in other languages, and I'll keep bringing in Home Depot.
I brought in Shakespeare last time, so
Yeah,
I'll keep on bringing it on.
Oh, I
brother.
feel great.
Yeah, this feels good, man.
You know, my mom is very, very loving and supporting. I love her very much.
Yep.
She was texting me all week. My dad told me that he told all of his coworkers and customers because he's funny.
Okay.
But my mom specifically, this is funny because she's not doing a joke. She's just being herself, texting me stuff that she thinks is fun and interesting. The video in the middle of the week, it hit 10 million views.
It did.
She spent the morning sending me places where the population is less than that. I wake up late in the afternoon, but I wake up to a text from my mom that says, "Oh my gosh, Patrick, the video's at 10 million views. There's less people in Papua New Guinea." She's not doing a joke.
Wow.
But it is the funniest thing I have ever heard.
Pat, there's less people in Papua New Guinea. Don't you see? Don't you understand, Patrick? We have more views on our sneeze video than the population of Papua New Guinea.
You want me to go through the other places?
Papua New Guinea is short for population of New Guinea.
So stoned.
I also said Papua New Guinea too many times. Now it doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Do you want to go through I think that was the funniest one, but she sent me a list. She sent me a list of places.
Bring it.
Sweden.
Yeah, we'll take that.
10 million
IKEA.
people. The Czech Republic.
The Czech Republic. Okay, so only funny countries.
Azerbaijan. Greece. Less people in Greece.
Wow.
Portugal, Hungary, and Tajikistan. Tajikistan?
Go ahead.
Tajikistan. It's a J.
Okay.
All 10 million people in
Wow.
all those places.
We got more views than the population of one of the stands.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Pretty good.
It's one of the only stands I feel like I've never heard of before.
Yeah. Oh, and the video, it hit 1 million on Instagram yesterday too.
It did hit 1 million on Instagram. I feel like that happened today. Whatever, it hit 1 million.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's great. If you're we should say if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching it at all, like thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate
for
it.
everyone who's just listening,
No. Thank you for that as
thanks
well.
as well.
Yeah.
You're missing a lot of stuff. Well, let's go. You know what? I kind of want to run this down a little bit. Pat
Okay.
said he was going to dress up. Our plan for today was that Pat was going to bring champagne and he was going to dress up.
Yeah.
And I'm learning a lot about my buddy Pat right now.
We're doing great.
Because Pat said
Untucked.
champagne is actually cranberry soda and that dressing up is actually looking like what Uncle Rico would dress up like in Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, snap.
You
Yeah.
look like a substitute teacher who leaves the school district on his motorcycle.
I think you think you're saying insults.
I think you think that
I
is
look
what
like-
dressing up looks
I-
like.
I-
Do you notice? Let me go through your outfit real quick. You got the black dress shoes on,
Yeah.
but those look like they're non-slips that you would wear at like Arby's. And then you got some Adidas
work-
black socks.
Like I work at Arby's.
Yeah, you gotta wear the non-slips. And then you got gray slacks
Yeah.
with an untucked maroon shirt
Yeah.
with a loosely tied black tie with like with the same leather jacket you wore in El Camino
Yeah.
and like some random knockoff Versace sunglasses that you found here.
Thank you for paying attention. I appreciate that so much. Maybe like long-haired dude in Freaky Friday taking Lindsay Lohan to prom at the end. Oh my god.
You definitely look like what a little kid thinks dressing up looks like.
Yeah, and my whole life is just what a little kid thinks being an adult's gonna be
I
like.
know. That's gonna get you into some trouble, buddy.
You'll be able to do whatever you want. No one will ask you for anything.
And I'm not saying that I'm like the picture of style.
Yeah,
right.
right.
However, that is
You look cool.
objectively hilarious.
you look like someone died.
okay.
But someone. You look like someone died who was like a brother to you.
Interesting.
But they weren't actually.
like Andre 3000 and Three Brothers, or Four Brothers.
You're cooler than me. I don't get that's.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that doesn't track with me. There's no need to tell you this. I almost bought you an Andre 3000 action figure, but then I didn't.
Oh, why?
So,
I would've loved that.
I know it's still there. We can go get it.
No, it's fine.
It was-
I don't like keeping action figures nowadays.
Yeah, you had a bunch and then you gave them to me.
You know?
And, yeah.
I turned, I think, 27, and I was like, well, that's about enough of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
I was like, that's probably about enough of that.
No, I
right?
didn't even.
I had a lot of Transformers from Transformers Armada, which is my favorite of the Transformers.
And those are.
And those are where?
Yeah.
Those are with probably a family who needed toys that Christmas.
Okay. No, that's good.
That's going to be a Toys for Tots type scenario.
That's helpful. I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like what kind of Transformers specific?
I had Galvatron with the mini-cons, and I had Starscream with the mini-cons, and I had I think I had Hot Rod with the mini-cons as well. I also had half of Ultra Magnus from the 1980s movie. And those are all with children now, because that's where they belong.
Did the mini clons clip onto the?
What they would do is they would clip on, and then you would move them, and it would unlock a new secret weapon. And that was for Starscream and Galvatron and Hot Rod. So, but those are with
Yeah.
like the
Where
right. They were where they belong.
Yeah, where they.
Because children need those.
No,
And-
where they-
And we're adults now, and adults can't have fun.
Robots in disguise. You see Ninja Turtles and Naruto are doing a collab.
I sure did not.
It's pretty cool.
I haven't seen.
It's gonna be really exciting.
Yep.
Comes out in October.
Yep, I didn't see that as I pour this cranberry soda
There's
into my flute.
it's like a throwback type situation, like a one-off issue for fun, where the Ninja Turtles are meeting up with Naruto, and they're all gonna be teenagers and ninjas together.
Interesting. I watched Julius Caesar, Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar, 1970s.
This is a good ad for the show.
Where this is the show. This is the most the show that this show has ever been. I watched Julius Caesar and not the 1950s Marlon Brando.
You'll have to educate me again.
Yeah. Well, I thought that was a thing that I wanted to do today. I
Okay.
thought it'd be mad funny to go through and explain to you who have only what Shakespeare have you
The Leonardo DiCaprio, where they
Romeo
do all,
and Juliet?
Yeah.
in
And
in high school? Did you ever?
I read Hamlet in high school.
Hamlet's-
just because it was required reading, but I mean, I read it.
Yeah, Hamlet is like the best one.
Yeah.
But I thought I would go through Julius Caesar with you.
Okay.
And just kind of explain the events in the way that I
Okay.
would explain the events.
Any relation to salad?
Not even close, actually.
Okay.
Weirdly enough.
All right.
None with salad, but good. Good in the same way that Caesar salad is good.
Yeah.
You know? I would say that Julius Caesar, the play by Shakespeare, is as good a Shakespearean play as Caesar salad is to salad. It's a good salad.
Yeah.
That's a good salad.
I agree.
Oh boy, is that a good salad. Little crouton.
Oh, many crouton. More crouton than salad.
Oh, Pat probably doesn't eat salad. I forgot. I should have known. That's my bad. You're like, yeah, other salads.
You're like waiting for me to chime in.
I was
You're
waiting for you to chime in.
And
I
then-
thought you were gonna be like, yeah, like a southwestern salad,
like an Italian red
Italian red
salad.
salad.
Right? You and me.
You're like fruit salad. Ah.
I can get behind fruit salad.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get into Julius
Strawberry.
Caesar.
Blueberry.
So let me talk to you about Caesar. I'm gonna talk to you in a
Pineapple.
way that you're gonna understand. All
I'm
right, buddy?
allergic to peaches.
So there's a dude, right?
Yeah.
His name Julius Caesar.
Yep.
Julius Caesar.
Yep.
He's doing a civil war with this dude named Pompey.
Okay.
And they both are like civil warring over Rome.
As in Pompeii Nights?
I don't know.
Okay.
What's that?
From Vesuvius from the Rocker?
No, it's not Pompey like
Not
as
the-
in
not the
Mount
place.
Vesuvius.
Just a guy named Pompey?
Pompey.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Different guy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That confused me at the beginning of the thing too, because I
Yeah.
was like Vesuvius?
Like
No.
how a girl's name can be Venice.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right.
All right, so listen. And how we got a Venice, but it's not the real one.
Not the real one.
All right, so look at Pompey and Julius Caesar. They come to blows, Civil War style. Julius Caesar says, "Fuck out of here." He beats the shit out of Pompey, kills him.
A person.
A person.
Not like an army.
I said Pompey was a guy.
No, I know, but I'm saying like
Julius Caesar, the guy, kills Pompey.
I'm just saying you set it up as a civil war. So are you saying like
Civil
he
war.
beat his army, or he
He
just
beat his
killed
army and probably killed him
the
too.
guy?
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And everyone in the street, the people of Rome, are like, hell yeah, Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, Caesar. Everyone's like, as a matter of fact, no work today, Caesar. We're just doing Caesar shit today.
Cool.
And then these two fucking dudes, who are probably some Pompey ass people,
Mm-hmm.
came through and they were like, hey man, why y'all fucking around talking shit about Pompey and all Caesar's all this and all that
Mm-hmm.
when y'all were just like praising Pompey a little while ago?
And they were?
And they were.
Okay.
The people were like, yeah, fuck yeah, Pompey. Caesar comes up, he's like Civil War style.
Got it.
And then fucking fucks up Pompey, and they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, Caesar. And these guys are like, whoa.
You're saying they're like fair weather supporters?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're just the people. They're the masses. And they're
okay.
easy to control.
Gotcha.
That's going to come back later.
Okay. All right. Okay.
right.
I like it.
So they're like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Go home.
Okay.
All right? And then they disperse the crowd. And then we fast forward a little bit, and it's Caesar, and he's walking through the streets. He's got his homeboy, Mark Antony. Mark Antony, the GOAT.
Okay.
All right? Mark Antony is that dude.
Gotcha.
All right? Caesar's walking through, and everyone's like, oh, fucking Caesar, I love you. Ah. And Mark Antony's like, Caesar, you the GOAT, for real.
Cool.
And Caesar's like, I've been known that I'm the GOAT, for real. And but then there's two hating-ass motherfuckers in the background.
Okay.
That's Cassius and Brutus. Brutus is walking by, and Brutus is all sad, and she's like, man, hands in his pocket, kicking the dirt. Yeah.
I'm completely following. This
Yeah,
is fun.
no, in a way that you would understand.
I'm totally on board.
Cassius comes up behind him and he's like, Brutus, why you fucking sad? Why you bumming everybody out? Bummer style.
Uh-huh.
And Brutus goes, man, I'd just be sad about stuff sometimes. I don't know. Something about Caesar maybe. And then Brutus is like, or Cassius is like, you think that you sad because Caesar's a bitch?
Okay. All right.
And Brutus is like, cool it, bro. Maybe. I don't know. And then Cassius is like, yo, for real? Like, Caesar ain't even all that.
Well, so whose idea is it more? Is it more Cassius's thing?
Maybe a little bit more Cassius's thing. Maybe Brutus was feeling a little bit bad because, like, look, everyone's trying to make Caesar like the king and shit. And he's like, we're a democracy. We don't need a fucking king out here. But so he's just sad about that. But Caesar's his boy.
I see.
That's Caesar, my boy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All
And
right.
Cassius is like, Caesar is not my boy. All right. And he's like, he goes like this. He's like, everyone's saying Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. What if they were saying Brutus, Brutus, Brutus? You know?
Interesting.
Could be any name.
Okay.
Brutus, good a name is Caesar. Matter of fact, I know one thing about Caesar. That motherfucker got a flu a little while ago and his lips were quivering. He's a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know? He cries just like we cry, bro.
Okay.
It could be you out there, and then they hear a ruckus. They hear a bunch of ruckuses outside. They're like, what the fuck is that ruckus out there? And they're looking down, and there's a big ruckus happening. And this other guy, Casca, he come up. And he's like, yo, you hearing this ruckus? They're like, Casca, what the fuck is that ruckus? They're like, yo, check it out. They just tried to make Caesar the king. They offered him the crown. And they're like, well, did he take it? He's like, that's what the ruckus was. He said no. He said no to the crown. They're like, but Casca, we heard 2 more ruckuses.
Okay.
And Casca's like, you are not going to believe this shit, bro. They offered him a crown the second time, and he said no.
Okay.
And they're like, do I even gotta ask what the 3rd ruckus was?
Yeah.
And he's like, thrice.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Thrice he denied the crown.
Okay.
Are you out of your mind? And they're like, what bitch ass motherfucker gave him the crown? And they're like, guess who? Mark Antony.
Okay.
Mark Antony trying to make Caesar a king.
All right.
Because Mark Antony, that dude, he's the GOAT. We love him.
Okay.
And so these 3 scheming motherfuckers in the background are like, we don't like this shit.
What? But I thought they didn't like that it wouldn't be a democracy. If Caesar's denying the crown, why are they upset?
Because they're like, he's just denying the crown to make the people like him more.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he fainted. Caesar fainted. Because this is for real, actual real life. Shakespeare wrote this. He fainted because the people's breath were too big. Everyone was going, Caesar, Caesar, Caesar.
It's overwhelming.
And their breath overwhelmed him. He passed out. And they're like, oh, Caesar got the fainting sickness. And Cassius was like, man, we got the fainting sickness, bro. So listen, they go out. Caesar's walking through the streets, and some old ass motherfucker. He goes, hey Caesar. Caesar's like, what's up? He's like, beware the Ides of March, bitch.
Okay.
And he goes, say that one more time to my face, motherfucker. And he goes, hey, Caesar, beware the Ides of March, motherfucker.
Okay.
And Caesar goes, that motherfucker crazy as hell. I'm not even going to pay any mind to him. Yeah. Gets out of there real quick. And then old guy's like, whatever, bro.
Caesar seems like a stand-up person so far.
Seems like a stand-up person so far. Seems like there's probably nothing wrong with Caesar, right? Seems like Caesar is maybe, I don't know, got some morals. Got some moral fiber.
Okay.
Seems like Mark Antony got his head in the right place, trying to make him a just and rightful king.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. Night before the Ides of March, Brutus sitting at his villa, and a bunch of hooded figures come by. And who is it but Cassius and Casca and a bunch of other plot motherfuckers coming to convince Brutus to join their scheme.
Word.
Brutus, not a bad guy.
No, it doesn't seem like one.
He's not a bad dude. Brutus is like, he's just tormented, bro. He's like, I don't want to see Rome fall into dictatorship, bro.
Yeah.
But Cassius, he's a soothsayer, bro. He be in Brutus's ear. He's like, hey man, we gotta get him out of here for Rome. You're a Rome guy. I'm a Rome guy. And then Brutus is like, you know what? Let's do it, bro. And let's get him. And everybody's around. They're like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to go kill Caesar because it's for the good of Rome. And Cassius is like, yeah, the good of Rome. What's up? And then they all disperse. Portia, Brutus's wife, comes out. And she's like, Brutus, who the fuck were all those hooded figures out here, bro? Who are you plotting and scheming with?
Yeah.
You were just outside doing that shit. On a night so stormy as this. What the fuck are you doing laying plans?
When your wife has got to find out who all those hooded figures are. My wife, when a bunch of hooded figures come in the night and try and...
Hey, Brutus is like, oh, my ball and chain showing up. Trying to ask me who these hooded figures were. She's like, Brutus, like, you plotting? And he's like, I'm not plotting, girl, go inside, go to sleep. And she's like, what, you don't think that I'm a wife to you, that you would tell me what the plots were? And he goes, nah, you're right, I'm going to tell you the plots. So anyway, it's the next day. What's the next day? The Ides of March.
Okay.
The Ides of March, March 15th.
Okay.
That's what that means. So it's March 15th, and who wakes up with a bad dream but Caesar's wife? Caesar's wife wakes up and she's like, Caesar, don't go to the Senate today. I just had a crazy ass dream. And he's like, what dream did you have? And she's like, I had a dream of a statue of Caesar poked with 1,000 holes and bleeding from every hole. And he goes, that's some ominous shit.
A vision.
That is scary, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I still got to show a strong face.
Yeah.
She's like, come on, bro. Just don't go for me. Just say it's for me.
Sure.
And he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to stay home. But then who comes up? One of the conspirators, one of the lesser known conspirators. He comes up. He's like, Caesar, what are you doing? We need you at the Senate right now. Stat. And he's like, I'm staying home, bro. Between you and me, my girl's going crazy about this dream she had.
Yeah.
And he goes, tell me the dream. He's like, it was a statue of me poked with 1,000 holes, all bleeding. And he goes, oh, she got it wrong, bro. See that blood that it was bleeding? That was good blood. We like that blood. That's nourishing blood. That's the nourishing blood, like that you are going to give your blood to the people and that everyone's going to love you for being Caesar.
That's
and
weird.
Caesar looks at his wife and he goes, it's some nourishing blood.
No.
You got me fucked up. It's nourishing blood, dude.
Damn. That sucks.
I got to go to the Senate. You were freaking out. You tripping about nothing. It's nourishing blood, idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, sorry, my girl is crazy. And then Mark Anthony shows up.
God.
Mark Anthony shows up and doesn't know anything about the plot, right?
Yeah.
Just loves Caesar. He's like, Caesar, we got Senate. What are you doing, bro? He's like, I'm on my way, dog. Say less. And they go out to the Senate, right? They get to the Senate, and then Mark Anthony's led off by somebody. They're like, Mark Anthony, we got some bullshit outside. You want to deal with the bullshit that's going on outside of this building outside? And he goes, I'll go right outside. They're like, why don't you go outside and deal with the rabble outside? And as soon as he leaves, everybody comes up to Caesar, and they're like, guess what? Yeah! It was Casca first. Casca comes up, stabs him.
Yeah.
And then he kind of goes one by one. It's Casca. It's Cassius. And then he turns to who? Brutus. He turns to Brutus.
This is like exactly like Jon Snow in.
It's like Jon Snow.
It's exactly.
It's
like
almost
Jon
like
Snow.
maybe it was based on.
I know. I mean, I'm realizing that
A
as
little
you're
bit,
talking.
maybe. Maybe a lot of George R.R. Martin stuff was based on Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like Game of Thrones and shit, you might like Shakespeare.
Well, yeah, I'll save it for when you're done. But I am realizing it's sort of just everything I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. You like The Lion King? That's Hamlet.
Yeah.
All right, check it out. So he turns to Brutus. He's all stabbed. He comes to Brutus. He's like, my dog, they're stabbing me right now. And then Brutus goes, yeah. And he goes, et tu, Brute?
Yeah. Like the little kid with Jon Snow.
And then Brutus is like, yeah, sorry, bro. And
yeah.
then Caesar's like, I die. And then he falls over and dies, right? So Mark Anthony doesn't show up yet. They all go, look, we're going to stand on business on this right now. We just killed this man. Everyone in the Senate ran out to the streets. They're like, oh, shit. Ran out to the street. They're like, we're going to stand on this shit. Everybody dip your hand into Caesar's blood. We're going to walk out to the people outside and show them that we did this intentionally and with sound mind and that we only did this for Rome. And then Mark Anthony walks in. Mark Anthony's like, what did you do to my boy?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't know, Mark. What did we do to your boy? With their knives in their hands. They're like, I don't know, Mark. Did we
Right.
do something to your boy?
I see.
And Mark's like, look, I don't know what kind of shit. I'm sure you got a good reason for doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like, let me just do Caesar a service.
Okay.
I'll bring his body outside. And like, just let me talk to the people about it. And then Brutus is like, you could talk to the people, but you just ain't gonna say nothing bad about us and nothing good about Caesar. And he's like, no, I got you. And Cassius is like, this isn't a good idea. Don't let him talk to the people. You know, Mark Anthony, he's good at stirring up the people. Don't
Yeah.
let him talk to the people. Brutus, a good guy.
Yeah.
Brutus is like, no, let's let him talk. You know, we didn't do anything wrong. We stand on our shit. And then Cassius is like, motherfucker, he's going to let Mark Anthony talk to him. So then they leave. And Mark Anthony goes, I'm going to fuck you peaches up.
Yeah.
There's no way. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war, motherfucker.
As he just do war. Yeah.
So they walk outside and Brutus is like, look, bro, we killed Caesar. Everyone's like, you killed Caesar.
Yeah.
He's like, we killed Caesar. But I'll tell you what, I killed Caesar 1,000 more times for the good of Rome.
Right.
You guys like Rome? They're like, we like Rome.
Yeah.
They're like, he's like, you guys like democracy? They're like, fucking, we love democracy, bro. He's like, Caesar was ambitious. They're like, Caesar was ambitious? They're like, yeah, he wanted the crown, bro. He was going to be the king of all kings. He's ambitious, motherfucker. And they're like, look.
It really didn't seem like Caesar was doing all that.
It doesn't seem like that, right? And they're like, look, maybe he was a little ambitious. You know, he was. We did try to give him a crown, and he denied it. But like we was all swept up in giving him a crown. And he's like, "Look, bro, this is the knife I killed Caesar with. I'll put this knife to myself if ever I get in the way of Rome. I'm a Rome guy." And everyone was like, "You know what? Brutus is a motherfucking Rome guy. You know, and we're Rome." And that's our guy.
And we're Rome.
And you know what? Actually, fuck Caesar, bro. Okay. Everyone was like, fuck Caesar. Fuck Caesar. And Brutus is like, hey, yo, I'm out of here. I'm going to go dip. I'm going to go wash my hands of this blood of the king.
Okay.
And but hey, look, I'm a good guy. Mark Antony wants to say some shit. All right? And then he looks back at Mark Antony. He's like, you know what I mean? Because Mark Antony, again, he's not allowed to say anything bad about the conspirators, and he's not allowed to say anything good about Caesar. So what's Mark Antony to do? How's he gonna dig himself out of this hole? Mark Antony comes up and he goes, friends, countrymen, lend me your ear. And he's like, I came here to bury Caesar. I'm not here to praise him. You know, I'm not here to sing his praises, dog. I'm just burying him. I just want to say a few words about Caesar. And everyone's like, all right, we're gonna let you say some words about Caesar. We like you, Mark Antony. He's a noble guy.
Yeah.
He's like, look, dude, Brutus wants to say that Caesar was ambitious, and Brutus is a noble man, right? But I don't know. Caesar came home with the spoils of war and shared it with Rome. Doesn't seem very ambitious. But hey, Brutus is a noble man. You know? He's an honorable man. And I don't know. Maybe sometimes the poor people be crying in the streets and that makes Caesar cry too. But hey, you know, Caesar was ambitious. Does that seem ambitious to you? Not to me. But hey, Brutus said he's ambitious and Brutus is an honorable man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to disprove what Brutus be saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I saw. And everyone was like, he was kind of G. He was kind of cool like that. He was for the people. He's kind of Rome.
Word.
You know what I mean? And then he's like, and as a matter of fact, I got his will right here. And you might want to see what's in the will. And everyone was like, well, I mean,
what's in the
show
will?
us that will.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll tell you what's in the will, boy. 75 drachma to every single citizen of Rome. And they're like, God damn. And he's like, and the paths that Caesar did walk, those are bequeathed to you, my fellow Romans. You can walk about his private properties and parks in beautiful vestiges.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Caesar was the goat. What were we thinking? And he's like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And so they chase out the conspirators out of town or kill them. And
Depending
Brutus
on which
and
version of the
Cassius get
story
away.
or-
No. Brutus and Cassius get away. Everybody else gets killed.
Okay.
Right? And Mark Antony, and then someone who's relative to Julius Caesar, Octavius Caesar, comes into town. Basically, time goes by, separation between Cassius and Brutus. They start infighting a little bit. Brutus's wife did take her own life by swallowing fire.
No.
Uh-huh.
How?
And oh no, Brutus, no. Not the consequences of your actions.
But also, no, go ahead.
Anywho. So basically it's a big epic battle. And it ends by Brutus and Octavius having the fucking upper hand because they are for Rome.
Yeah.
And both Cassius and Brutus do kill themselves.
Wow.
But here's the difference. This is the big difference. Cassius kills himself by ordering a slave servant of his who is indentured to him. He like saved his life and he like owed him a life debt or something. Oh. He said, if ever I was going to let you free, I'd tell you to stab me and go ahead and do that now. He's afraid of getting captured. He's afraid of losing. And he wants to be in control of his own life, so he has dude do him in.
Gotcha.
Brutus, what did Brutus say before? Brutus said, I got the same knife for myself if I stand in the way of Rome.
Yeah.
So he does it. He goes, this same knife that I killed Caesar with, he goes, yeah, I'm the one who stands in the way of Rome, and I'm a Rome guy. And then Mark comes by, and he goes, how did fucking Brutus die? And his servant was like, yo, he did himself in because he's real as fuck.
Stood in the way
and
of
then
Rome.
Mark Antony's like, you know what? Actually, Brutus might have been the realest motherfucker of all time. And then the play ends.
I was really locked in there. That's dope. That's crazy. I don't understand why Brutus and Cassius thought that Caesar was against Rome just because he would be king of all kings.
So Cassius was just jealous of Caesar's rise to power. You know, he's like, why does he get to be like, why can't it be me? What's so special about him? Why doesn't everyone like me like that? Brutus was genuinely for Rome, like afraid that they were going to turn their democracy into a dictatorship.
Yeah.
And he was like, there shouldn't be one man at the top that decides everything. Even if Julius Caesar is the noblest and most just of all time, there shouldn't be one guy. It should be committee. It should be the people who decide.
I
So
understand
he was worried about Rome for real.
Yeah.
And that's why he's also the GOAT.
I am realizing what you're saying. You've been making this point to me for 2 weeks now. Like, while you're telling this story, I'm just thinking about all the other movies and TV shows and everything that I've ever watched that is just exactly this.
Yeah, bro.
And I guess I have to recognize that it's just that first.
Yeah, it's that
and then they
first.
just tell like that.
So, like, here's an example. Like, there's a lot of quotes and shit from Shakespeare that I didn't know was Shakespeare quotes.
Yeah.
I say "Good night, sweet prince" to a lot of people. That's Hamlet. That's
Right.
what Hamlet's homeboy says to him. Horatio says to him when Hamlet dies.
Sure.
He goes, "Good night, sweet prince."
Yeah.
Richard III at the end of the play, Richard III. He goes, my horse, my kingdom for a horse."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a horse, my kingdom for a horse. And I'm like, I know that quote. That's crazy.
There was a lot of Revenge of the Sith in there.
A lot of Revenge of the Sith. There's a lot of Hamlet in Revenge of the Sith as well.
When they kill Jon Snow in Game of Thrones, they literally say "for the North" as they do it, like they would be doing it for Rome.
Yep.
Because of that, I was half expecting for you about to say that Caesar walks out. Like,
like it comes back to life?
would have been. I would have gotten.
Spoiler
hyped.
alert for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, dude, don't watch Game of Thrones. They fucked it.
No, watch Game of Thrones and then just have it be one of those shows that you don't finish.
Yeah.
You know, I got a million of those. I didn't finish Better Call Saul.
I didn't start Better
I
Call Saul.
watched a ton of Better Call Saul and I just kind of fell off of watching it. And like, I think that ended good, but if it didn't, I'd be so happy right now.
Sure.
You know? But yeah, there's a lot of that in The Lion King is just Hamlet.
Well, The Lion King is also stolen from the Japanese cartoon Kimba the Lion.
It's a little bit of both because there's there's certain things about Lion King that's Hamlet, like Timon and Pumbaa are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah.
And Scar is the evil uncle who takes over the empire after.
Yeah.
It's all like slightly analogous. It's not a beat for beat retelling of the story, but
Yeah.
Hamlet rules. Like, to be or not to be is the coolest fucking soliloquy that I
Yeah.
ever did see. And I watched, there's a 1996 movie directed by Kenneth Branagh, starring Kenneth Branagh. Kenneth Branagh is from Harry Potter 2. He's the Defense Against the Dark Arts guy.
Okay.
Do you know his name? I'm spacing on his name.
No.
The charlatan who knows charms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
He directed that movie.
Yeah. Oh, he directed Harry Potter?
He directed Harry Potter 2. He directed the one that
Dude, he is the fucking goat. It's a 4-hour Hamlet movie
Okay.
where he plays Hamlet and then directs Hamlet.
Okay.
It's insane and it's fantastic. It's
cool.
so good. And then he does the To Be or Not to Be. And there's certain people. There's another guy, Andrew
Wait,
Scott.
when is that from?
When is what from?
The movie, I'm saying. The one.
96.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
And then he went on to do The Chamber of Secrets.
And the Artemis Fowl movie, which was the worst
Really
movie
bad.
I've ever fucking
That's
seen.
a bummer.
And I was even saying this not even knowing about like the Shakespeare stuff from Kenneth Branagh, but like that whole movie takes place in just that house. And I'm like, because Kenneth Branagh comes from the stage.
Where else could we
He's
go?
a theater man. He's like, well, where are we going to go? I'm like, I don't know, the fairy underworld? He's like, fairy schmary.
All right, we've got a Harry Potter movie. I don't know if it's all right. The whole thing just takes place in a school. Where else?
That's the best place that it could have been for Kenneth Branagh. They're like, it's just going to take place over Hogwarts. He's like, good. Good.
Whole Wizarding World wouldn't want to explore that.
No, let's keep it right here.
Right here in
Yeah.
in the Defense Against the Dark Arts room.
We'll do the whole movie in this room. Yeah.
All little blue things.
Do you don't remember his name in that? Lockhart? Gilderoy Lockhart?
I don't know. I just remember.
Is that not it? Gilderoy Lockhart?
I just remember when he loses his memory. He's
Who are you? And who am I? Yeah. Now that guy in 96 was going, to be or not to be.
Right.
That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or I can't remember the rest of it. I'm still learning it. You take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing them, end them to die.
Did Shakespeare ever do a version of? I believe this is not Shakespeare to begin with. Where is King Arthur and King Midas in all of
King Arthur and King Midas? So like King Midas is ancient Greek. Everything he touched turns to gold.
Yeah.
King Arthur is Welsh legend.
Didn't King Arthur take over for his dad though?
For who?
For like his evil father? Am I mistaken?
King Arthur?
Yeah.
He was his dad, who is also Arthur or Uther, he wasn't that cool of a guy.
Yeah. But wasn't he king? And then
He was king.
and then Arthur
But it depends on like it's one of those things where it's not like there's one King Arthur book. It's like a million different tales that change little bits here and there.
Yeah, my understanding that I'm bringing this up because my understanding is that original trilogy Star Wars is more King Arthur stuff, and then prequel trilogy Star Wars is more Shakespeare stuff. And I feel like I'm hearing that as you're speaking about Julius Caesar.
Yeah, maybe.
Like-
Maybe it is. Like, I don't know, like finding the sword in the stone is...
So, I mean, George Lucas has been very upfront that the blue lightsaber in the original 3 Star Wars movies is meant to be Excalibur. Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well,
And
I bet George
it's-
Lucas was kind of hodgepodging a bunch of other stories together, so it probably weaves in and out.
I mean, it's literally presented to him by a crazy old wizard, much like the sword in the
Obi-Wan
stone.
would have been a
yeah.
Merlin-type character.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
And then, so my understanding was that, like, in King Arthur fashion, Arthur would have had an evil dad who was king, and then Arthur would pull the sword from the stone and have to go face him.
Oh,
Much
no, it wasn't like that. No, like
okay.
Uther he was gone by the time King Arthur comes. King Arthur's greatest quest was for the Holy Grail. That's
see.
like the biggest, like the sword in the stone, he doesn't even always get the sword from the stone. I see. He sometimes gets
what?
it from
What's he gonna do?
Excalibur is not always the sword.
Yeah.
And it's not always coming out of it's most often given to him by the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
And kind of everybody gets a sword like Lancelot gets a sword like that. Galahad gets a sword from a stone.
Who's the Lady of the Lake?
Lady of the Lake. Oh, I don't know what her name is. But she's like a fairy of the lake, and she comes and blesses your journey, your hero's quest for Catholic God. You know, it's a very Catholic story.
Is she pretty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, she's very fair.
Cool.
She's quite the fair maiden. Yeah. Well, I'm satisfied for the whole. We went from Shakespeare to King Arthur. I'm fucking set. Bud.
Remember, I can do you one better. Remember when Gohan pulls the sword in the Boo Saga?
Whoa!
And then they
The Z sword.
Oh, do I remember the Z sword?
Only the second coolest sword from Dragon Ball Z.
Trunks'
sword. Trunks' sword. Did you see the? Was this in Super that they redo when Trunks appears and chops up Frieza, and it happens in like 3 seconds?
No, they don't. Well, maybe they re-show it.
They re-show it,
but yeah.
There's like a scene. Yeah. In the show, it's like there's a lot more like, who are you? I'm coming here to. And in the clip, it was like.
Well, it would have been that fast.
Yeah.
It's just all slow motion.
Yeah.
We're Dragon Ball Z. We're viewing the show at the rate that we, our human eyes, can understand
Right.
it.
So it's
But
slowed down.
Remember in the Saiyan saga, Gohan's got to learn how to look at stuff. Piccolo's like, focus. They're moving too fast.
Yeah.
and then Gohan's 4 years old, by the way.
Yeah. He's like, I cannot see
And
what's
Piccolo's
happening.
like, Gohan, you idiot! Use your focus.
Gohan.
You. and then, from my understanding, that point over for the next 40 years of Dragon Ball, we're viewing the show from that perspective
from that
of watching fighting.
Yeah. It's got to be slow because it's happening too quick.
That's why the Frieza fight's 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because we're viewing it from the eyes of a trained key user.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I'll just keep I'll keep the train rolling on things you'll be excited about. I DJ'd Emo Night Brooklyn in Anaheim, California last night.
Okay.
Very fun. Always fun DJing. I appreciate it. At lunch when we were coming over here, you asked me what I thought the biggest Emo Night songs are. Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about it since we talked about it. Definitely I'm Not Okay and Welcome to the Black Parade.
Yeah.
By
My Chemical Romance.
By My Chemical Romance. Definitely Mr. Brightside.
Isn't that a bummer? Isn't that such a bummer that the Killers were not an emo band? They weren't an emo band when they came out. They didn't look like an emo band. And then suddenly Mr. Brightside is just the biggest fucking emo anthem. And they're like, we don't make songs like that.
No, not only that, but it's a British rock anthem written by Vegas guys.
British rock anthem written by Mormon Vegas guys.
Yeah. Definitely The Kill by 30 Seconds to Mars goes
classic.
crazy.
That's a classic, and that guy's a monster.
Definitely Last Resort, Papa Roach, and also Bring Me to Life, Evanescence.
Okay. Weird.
I always skip the piano intro, so you just get the vocal just hits you right away, just from the how. Yeah, exactly.
No, I'd be fucking stoked.
Without fail, everyone.
And it comes in on like a bass drop too. Can you do the bass drop? 1, 2, 3, and how can you see into my eyes like open door? That was supposed to be another bass drop. Anyway,
oh, my bad. I was right at the top. I did it last night. I should know. Anyway, so my point being that the true answer to the songs that go the hardest at emo night, and I'm learning this, I've known this, but I'm learning it more and more. It turns out Linkin Park is the greatest band of all time.
look, dude. All right, look, man. I actually have a lot to talk about. I was saying, first thing off the fucking rip, rest in peace, Chester Bennington, okay? Let's pour one out for the homie. All over Idobi Studios.
No, let's not.
Let's pour one out.
Okay. Pour one out into my mouth. Yeah, it's good. It's good. We'll get it outside.
There we go. One of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest to ever do it. I don't say that sensationally. I don't say that posthumously just because he died, because of the manner in which he died. This is for real. I'm so fucking serious. Like, maybe 3 weeks before Chester passed.
Yeah.
I went around and asked all my friends in, I believe, 2017, if they thought that Linkin Park was one of the greatest bands of all time.
Yeah.
And everyone said no.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I was asking, because I don't like old people, or even, like, young people do this too. People who just assume that you can only be the greatest of all time if you're an older band.
No.
Like that the Rolling Stones has to be the greatest band ever, or the Beatles have to be the greatest band ever, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, let's get new guys in there. Like, is Linkin Park not one of the greatest, like, most pioneering of a genre, well-performing, well-selling, innovative fucking rock acts of all time?
Yeah.
And I was doing that in the Gorillaz, and I got a lot more love for Gorillaz.
It's like the Linkin Park's like I mean, I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think of them as doing like all of the cheesiest possible things, but it's just the dopest thing you've ever heard.
I don't.
You know what I mean? It's just like
I
the
would
coolest
say that
thing
it's
ever.
Like they're the guys that like pioneered the tropes of a lot of stuff.
No, right. It's like when other people try and do it.
They're doing a Linkin Park.
Right.
But it's not like they didn't invent rap metal, rap rock.
No.
They were one of the many bands who were doing it. They just did it so clearly the best out of anybody else doing it. It had the most heart and personality. Their song "Breaking the Habit" makes me so It's like one of the puzzle pieces to my soul is "Breaking the Habit" by Linkin Park.
I gotta stop bringing up stuff that you're deeply and personally passionate about.
I think that Meteora is one of the greatest records, the greatest rock records at the very least, ever conceived.
Yeah.
Ever conceived. I think Hybrid Theory is great, but I think Meteora is like one of the greatest pieces of art ever introduced to rock music ever.
Well, my point being that like all those songs I mentioned before do go off crazy, but even for some of those, and even again, massive hits by huge hit artists, their biggest possible song that they have that I'm playing all night because it's an emo night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And without fail, like, or not without fail, but sometimes people are just like, yeah, I know this song, woo.
Yeah.
And like any Linkin Park cut from any record, everyone's, oh my God, it's Linkin Park. Like,
it starts with one thing. I don't know why it does. Dude, do you have like a lot of people have this? Do you have a random Linkin Park song that's your favorite?
I don't know if it's random. Favorite at the show, favorite in my life is Bleed It Out.
Oh, I know. I knew that Bleed It Out was your favorite too.
Yeah.
Bleed It Out is no, that's exactly what I mean because no one would say Bleed It Out.
No one would say that?
I love Bleed It Out.
It's so
My
good.
favorite is Faint. Do you remember Faint? I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. It's so fucking good. The music video is the camera from their backs to the crowd the whole time.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
The reason,
they're so cool.
The reason Bleed It Out does it for me is because the things that they're saying and like the passion in their voices cut through so hard that the song isn't supposed to be huge.
Yeah, it doesn't get bigger than...
It's doing all the work is just in the fact that they're bleeding it out. there's like the other song... You know?
I've opened up these scars! Dude, shut up.
because this guy's bleeding out.
This dude, everyone in the band, they were gonna make it big, and everyone's like, oh shit, oh
Yeah.
my god, doesn't matter how hard I try. You're like, oh my fucking, let's keep it down.
Yeah, let's
Keep it down. I
think he's
I don't feel like I want to step on what Mike's doing right now.
a rhythm-
All right, maybe when Chester comes. Oh, okay. No, let's keep it here.
a rhythm guitar player just keep going. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, headphone guy is doing that lead.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, do I stop? I don't think I'm supposed to stop.
So good, bro.
They have a song called "Waiting for the End." It's I remember I was living in Perrysburg, Ohio, and I was driving every morning. My dad would get driven to the Chrysler plant in Toledo, and we would get driven to school. And I remember one morning we were going out, and I heard that for the first time, and I looked dramatically out the window and and tried to make myself cry so hard, and it didn't work. No, I was just like imagine this, like I'm on this side, and we're going to Toledo, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what it takes to move on.
Yeah.
So we're good now.
You think any of the like British news TikTok guys will report on our podcast?
The British news TikTok guys.
You ever seen people be like
Oh, please do a British
the
accent.
meantime's historic rise to fame. Their unprecedented videos have taken over your For You page.
Have taken your For You page by storm.
hosted by goofballs Jared Gaines and Patrick Gilchrist, the two unrequited maybe unrequited. The two unrequited lovers have found a comedic timing that has touched on the pulse of Generation Z. Generation Z.
Generation Z. You're so fucking stupid, dude. You're so fucking stupid, dude. I like when Pat comes up with a bit because he doesn't think of like the bit through at all. He just goes, "Yeah, I'll just start talking."
Have you seen those motherfuckers? I can't wait.
I don't know.
If you're one of them, just do.
Hey.
Or either if you're one of those, I'd love to have you check out our stuff. If you're an animator, just animate somebody.
Oh shit!
Animate that.
Oh shit! Yeah, someone was like, "Oh, someone should animate this." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, are we gonna get an animation, bro? That would be crazy." All right, look, we're wrapping up, okay? Thanks for tuning in. In the meantime, you can catch us Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 3 p.m. Pacific time on Idobi.com.
Like this video on YouTube. Follow us on all of our pages. Give us 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. And we make music.
That's enough.
Listen to my band, Not My Weekend. Listen to Jared's Project Rat Park. We make very good rock and roll music.
Anti-German rock and roll music.
No, you said we were good with them.
You don't know what I said to them.
What the fuck?
All right, later, guys.
Love you. Bye.